what matters in life is that you should not have those blinders on.
Does responsibility change a person or reveal who they already are? Shubhra, what's the difference between authority and influence?
I would have to say they both are the same thing.
Okay.
I think I'm a reductionist. I like to reduce everything to the simplest.
I completely love my country, but women are scared to do so many things, and even people in general. What can change this? How can we remove fear? Because fear is something very negative in all fronts. It should not be there.
But every society, women
Okay.
across the world face a lot of challenges. Men also have those fears.
Yes, people.
The
there is
fear
a-
of the unknown, the fear of getting outside one's comfort zone.
Does responsibility change a person or reveal who they already are?
I would have to say both. Responsibility changes a person in a way that they get to see who they actually are. Can they rise up to the occasion? Can they meet the demands of a situation? And it also reveals who they truly are. So there are many people who crash when responsibility is thrown at them and they are not able to rise up to the occasion, whether it's a personal scenario or a professional scenario. You will find people struggling. It is because it is very difficult for people to understand then that when they are required to show up, you just show up. They don't understand that when people are counting on you, there's a lot of trust, a lot of dependency involved. Then they start seeing their selfish needs and they don't show up. That's when you get to see the colors, the true colors of people, and they also get to see that we are actually not what we thought we were. So I would have to say
Responsibility.
both.
Nice. How do you define the word responsibility?
Responsibility to me is about being true. It's about being authentic.
Oh, wow. I do remember you had said this in one of your first interviews. I remember in Hindi, and I watched it. And such a beautiful young woman, and so you were speaking so freely, and you were just like, you said it in Hindi that being authentic, it's important. And I remember
Yeah.
the way
It's
you
not
moved.
just important. I mean, so
Yes.
many years down the line, I can still attest to the fact that honesty, being authentic, is the most important
Completely
thing
agreed.
in human life. If
Beautiful.
you're not authentic, what are you? You are living a facade. And responsibility and authenticity, they go hand in hand together. If you're authentic as a spouse, as a friend, as a professional, as a son or daughter, as a mother or father, then you will be responsible. Responsibility does not get created in one setting and not in another. If you're responsible, that means you're authentic to every role that you perform during your existence as a human being. And when you're not authentic, you cannot be responsible. It's as simple as that. Authenticity, responsibility, they are one and the same thing.
Interesting. You mentioned responsibility as a husband. You mentioned responsibility like spouse, friend, family, in general. But I have a question.
I know what you're going to be saying.
What about a boyfriend? What is the responsibility of a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner? Without any.
I think these are just terms, husband, boyfriend, partner, because that's what society looks at different relationships in terms of the societal structures, the legal structures. But the bottom line is there is a relationship between a man and woman. It could be of various intensities, various degrees. What we choose to call it does not define it. Maybe a boyfriend and girlfriend could be more intensely in love with each other than a husband and wife, because you cannot confine emotions in brackets. You can never do that.
Oof.
You can never do that. These brackets are for people who want those brackets. So, what expectations I would say? So, if I am not going to talk about boyfriend, girlfriend, or partners, how they should be with each other,
Yes.
anyone, whether in a romantic relationship or otherwise, even a friendship, or even a relationship with your parents, your siblings, your children, one thing that is paramount is respect. If there is respect, there'll be love. If there is no respect or there is disrespect, love will not stay. It holds true in every situation. If, as a friend, you're not respecting your friend's boundaries, your friend's desires to be who they are, and you're disrespecting them continuously, their friendship is also a form of love.
Of
We
course.
often say love is just the Romeo Juliet kind. No, love has many manifestations, and if there's no respect, there's no love. For example, my daughter, I have to respect her for her to love me. If I don't respect her, I don't respect her choices, her wisdom, her voice, and people. I find it very sad. What parents usually do, they think kids are idiots, and that is something I'm going to be
Very
talking about in
sad.
the book also. Children, even at the age of 3 or 4, are wiser than most adults. Some children. And to understand and trust a child's wisdom is very, very important. I respect my daughter because I was not respected at that age, and it's quite sad. But I don't blame my parents, they did not know any better. But if you have a child that is probably wise, don't destroy it by thinking they are dumb or they are not intelligent enough to understand. Children, more often than not, are more perceptive, more intelligent, and more capable of a good decision than adults. You know why?
Why?
Because they're not wearing the sunglasses or the shades or whatever glasses we're wearing. We
Yes.
are we are wearing those glasses all the time. Glasses of judgment, and glasses of social validation, of what propriety is. Children don't know propriety. Who ever taught what is proper? What is proper is what feels proper, not what someone teaches as proper. This is the distinction we should be teaching our children and also learning it ourselves. I mean, I'm not too old to learn that propriety can be learned in life. That is the idea of this book. That propriety is not what is taught to you, it is something that you learn from within, and then you imbibe it to be actually proper. So I think and that's how I'm bringing up my daughter. And I hope she understands that propriety is not what I teach her, but what she learns through her interactions with the universe around her.
That brings me to my next question. What matters a lot in life? And I believe, I'm just thinking about this sentence because I think it relates also to your book.
Of course,
Tell
it
us more
does.
about that.
It does. My book is called It Matters a Lot. Because while going through my life experiences as a person and also as a professional, I saw so many people going through life blindly. Or not blindly, maybe, what do you have, those, the horse wearing
Yes,
those? What are
yes.
those called? I keep forgetting. I always remember it, I recall it, and then I forget
It
it.
has slipped my mind right now.
It's something that you make those
The blind
horses, blinders? No, it's called something else. Or maybe blinders.
It's okay.
So when you have a horse that is in a tanga, you know what a tanga is?
Yes.
Like there's people sitting behind. I've been on a tanga. It's lovely. The
Yes,
horse
yes.
running like that, and it's got these blinders. It's not the horse that runs in the wild. they don't have blinders. But when the horse has these, like a
Yes.
tunnel vision. So what basically happens is when the horse has blinders on, they tend to look in one direction. What matters in life is that you should not have those blinders on. And these blinders could be so many things. They could be external, they could be internal. When I say external, so all the restrictions that society, because we need to be in a society, so there are rules and there are things that people validate more than others. So you tend to accept them as the norm, and slowly the blinders become big. And then there are internal blinders. So, oh, Aurora is looking so good. She's wearing that. I don't have those shoes. I don't have those pants. Oh, that piece of jewelry, I should have. Those are the internal blinders. When you are full
Yes.
of envy for what you don't have and others seem to have, you want it so badly. And so slowly your world gets limited by those blinders, by the external as well as internal. Children don't have those blinders. Children are super wise. If you really want to learn something about life, you need to sit with a child and understand how they see world without those blinders. And the book is about removing those blinders.
Beautiful.
So
Really.
life, what matters in life is to not take life seriously at all. Take life, as a journey, as one experience after another, as one adventure after another. Every moment is an adventure, an experience. Do not take life as one destination after another. So, okay, job, career, spouse, children, a perfect home, a perfect family, a perfect life that looks so shiny, amazing, so that everybody would say, "Oh, this is the life I wanted." You remember when we were young. I mean, you are much younger than me, but probably you have also seen it. इसकी साड़ी मेरी साड़ी से सफ़ेद कैसे?
Shubhra, what's the difference between authority and influence?
I would have to say they both are the same thing.
Okay.
I think I'm a reductionist. I like to reduce everything to the simplest of things so that it can make sense. Authority is nothing without influence.
I love this
I mean, the
conversation.
authority that you have by occupying a certain post or a
Okay.
chair, if you are not influencing change, that authority is useless. It's meaningless. Sometimes we look at getting to a certain place of authority to actually influence. I have been trying to influence the world even when I was a child. I was a nothing. I used to try and teach children in my colony, and we used to have this wooden door, and I would write with a chalk and teach them grammar or maths, whichever subject I felt like teaching them. And it's something that has stayed with me. You don't have to wait to get to a position of authority to influence. You don't have to have the legal authority to effect change. Change is within you.
Yes.
The moment you change your mindset, the moment you try to change the mindset of people around you in your immediate vicinity, you have the authority. So when you influence a change, you get that authority. No matter what kind of authority you have, if you are not influencing people, if you're not changing. But yes, it's indeed sad that sometimes people who have influence like to do it negatively as well. I would not want to discuss about why people do that. And um, I'm someone who believes that your life is about transforming into a better version of yourself and to try and change the world around you to become a better version of the world. So I like to see my life as a journey of touching anything and making it better. The experience of interacting with me should result in some gain for whoever or whatever is interacting with me, whether it's a physical thing or it's an emotional thing, it's a human being or anyone else. The place should become better because I existed in it. So, do I need any authority to do that? I already carry the authority. You also do. I mean, we are both having this interaction. I think we are going to influence a lot of minds, I hope.
Yes.
So you and I have a lot of authority. Do we need to sit in a chair? That's very important to be able to speak from that, to have that authority? No. And
Okay.
I think you're already doing good stuff in your area of work.
Thank
You
you.
already have authority because people listen to you. Do you need to occupy a chair to that? Do that? No, I don't think so. There's so many people who occupy so many chairs, but whether or not they were sitting on that chair, it would be irrelevant because they are irrelevant in those chairs. I'm not I'm not trying to take any names because in my professional and personal life I've seen so many people occupying the same position in different settings, different people, similar chair. One would be doing wonders with what they have been given, and the other people not so much. So, who has more authority? You tell me.
Very interesting.
Sometimes I go to washrooms, and there these some are absolutely obnoxious, the cleaning ladies. Some are actually very nice, and I love interacting with them. So they understand my job is to clean the washroom, but at the same time, whoever is coming into the washroom, they're so nice and polite to them, and they make you feel so warm. So even while they're performing supposedly menial job, I think it's very important to clean washrooms. That is the most crucial thing. I mean, if you don't have hygiene in the washroom, your life is hell, right? People call it menial, so forgive my words. I don't consider it a menial job. I think it's the
No,
most
no, not
important
at
job
all.
to have a clean washroom. The most essential thing. You should be able to clean your toilet. You should be able to clean your room. You should be able to wash your dishes. You should be able to cook food for yourself and feed your family. Why? If you have the good fortune of having help, that is good. Be thankful, be grateful. But if you do not, what, you're going to keep lying in like a garbage or what? You're going to use dirty washrooms? No. You should be, every person, I just want to say to everyone, please know how to clean your washroom. You should have a clean washroom. Please know how to wash your dishes. Please know how to cook your food.
Okay.
Please know how to do laundry. You don't want to wear dirty clothes. Use your hands to do it. Just because you have help doesn't. So one day there's a doomsday and suddenly there is no help. What? What kind of life would that be? Yeah, I know you find it funny, but it's a fact. I mean, every person should. There's beauty in doing work with your own hands.
Yes, there is.
Cleaning is therapeutic. I find it very therapeutic. Washing dishes, doing laundry. Um, I'm not saying those are amazing things to do because anybody can do it. There's not much value add. If I had more time, I would love to do that, but I don't. So I prefer to do more of mind work because that way I can expand the reach of what I am trying to do, but doing more brain work rather than doing laundry and dishes. But I absolutely love doing that. It's really amazing. Trust
Wow.
me.
Okay.
You should try that.
Okay. What kind of courage does leadership really require?
We have to first talk about leadership.
Please.
Leadership to me is not something that accrues from a post or a chair. Leader is someone, I think, in any situation, whether official or unofficial, someone who rises up to the occasion and sees that other people might not be best suited to solve this problem or take this forward, and they take the lead. That's a leader. If I'm sitting in a position of a leader and I'm letting someone else make the decisions and not leading from the front, yeah, this is very important. The leader should lead from the front and from example. I'll tell you how.
Okay.
When you say leading from the front, this is often used in military parlance, leading from the front. But even in civil organizations or society in general. Leading from the front is like, I'm going to be the one that leads. So you don't have to provide me a cover. I go first, follow me. Okay? That's the first thing. Then leading by example. You don't always have to fire a shot to be a leader. You lead by example. So I'll give you an instance. So if my people are not able to do it, I get down to their level and do it. If I ask them to work hard, I work harder myself. If I ask them to be sincere, then I show first my sincerity. If you are preaching what you don't practice, if you're asking people to be something that you yourself are not, that's hypocrisy. A leader cannot be a hypocrite. A leader has to be someone authentic, someone who leads by example, who leads from the front. And the most important thing, courage. Courage to take fall and courage to take ownership. I have seen so many people throw their team members under the bus because somehow things went awry. I take ownership of my people. I say, I'll watch. If something goes wrong, I'm here. I've never let one person who's been on my team down. I'm willing to take a stand for my team and say that this was my decision. And courage in leadership is about that. The courage to take the fall.
Interesting.
I say, yeah, my team has got nothing to do with. I said this has to be done this way. And if something goes wrong, I don't find a scapegoat. I say, I'm the goat, slaughter me.
Nicely put.
Yeah, so that's what courage is in leadership.
I have a question about fear. So, and this is something I've observed. Many people are scared to take initiative or go ahead because they're worried something bad will happen to them, especially women.
Yes.
I'm not, I think you know what I mean? Especially here in, though I completely love my country, but women are scared to do so many things. And even people in general. What can change this? How can we remove fear? Because fear is something very negative in all fronts. It should not be there.
I understand where you're coming from. And I think it's not just our society. First, let me put it this way. Of course, Indian society has its own plethora of problems. But every society, women
Okay.
across the world face a lot of challenges. But then men also have those fears.
Yes, people.
The
there is
fear
a-
of the unknown, the fear of getting outside one's comfort zone. And the only way to combat fear is to know that if you don't move, you'll perish. You're perishing anyway, living in that fear. Do you like the state you are in today? If you're comfortable with that, just staying like a victim of circumstances, and you decide not to do anything. I remember I was watching this documentary on Netflix. In earlier times, or maybe they even, so armadillo, you know?
Yes, yes.
So armadillo, when it's attacked, there's this huge shell around it. They just go inside. They're attacked, right? We could be armadillos. We could be ostriches, putting our heads inside.
I like the ostrich example
Yeah,
very
ostrich.
much. The
Or
body is
even
anyway out.
armadillo. Nobody can attack them because they're so comfortable inside their own shells. It's symbolic of staying comfortable in the reality you think is safe, but is it actually safe?
I get
Ostrich, does it actually get safe by not seeing what the reality is? Once you start becoming more and more aware of the reality around you, whether you choose to change it or not change it because of the fear, it's up to you. Every person, every individual has to take their own journeys. So I'm not going to judge someone because they sit in fear and inaction because they are so scared. It's okay. That's their journey. But for the ones who are actually at the precipice, they're actually at the threshold. I call on you, get out, change. Change yourself, change the world. But if you're too afraid, maybe you'll take time. Try to look inside and try to correlate. The dissonance between what's inside you and outside is what causes the need to change. If what you feel inside is the same as what you feel on the outside, don't change. Stay the way you are. But if you feel, which does not happen,
Yes.
it does not happen. But if you feel what you feel inside is very different from what you see outside, that's your call for action. That's your call to let go of your fear. Forge ahead. What's there to lose? You are going to die anyway. Better die trying. At least you won't have those regrets when you're passing away that I lived in this sad version of reality, knowing it was a sad version, and I chose to do nothing about it. That kind of regret, that kind of life is a life wasted.
Yes, very true. What do the words trust, transformation, and transparency mean to you?
So we'll talk about trust first.
Okay.
We often think of trust as something that people have on others. So
Okay.
I trust you, or you'll take care of me. It's sort of a dependency. It's sort of a psychological phenomenon where we use that to have a transaction with the other person. I trust my teacher to teach me well. I trust my parent to take care of me. But most of the times, the trust is broken. So this transactional trust, it often results in disappointment. So trust has to start with you. Do you trust yourself? If you trust yourself, nothing will faze you. No matter how many heartbreaks you have, no matter how many disappointments you have, no matter how much money people take away from you. If you trust yourself, you know I'll get everything back. I'll make all the money. I'll be as successful as I want because you have trust in yourself.
Yes.
And you also have trust that life will give you the best if you put your best foot forward. So that is what trust means to me. Second is transparency. Again, for me, it's all about the inner reality and the outer reality of a human being. To me, transparency would mean, uh, so we were talking about blinders, right?
Yes.
So transparency would mean something like, am I transparent to myself? Again, authenticity comes. Authenticity is not about, okay, I'm feeling this right now, so let me do this. Authenticity is about knowing yourself. It starts with reflection. It starts with self-awareness. So how do you do that? You think about the hard questions. You ask yourself the right kind of questions to get the answers to the questions you have been hiding away from. You look at yourself, you introspect, you reflect, and then the answers that you get, they lead to a better self-awareness. I'm not saying that self-awareness is a construct that is easily arrived at, and it's a very uncomfortable reality to be self-aware, but it's more beautiful than to live with a farce that your life is, that who you are, you don't know yourself. So being transparent with oneself would require a lot of self-reflection, a lot of introspection. I like to introspect and reflect on everything that I do, time to time. So if I'm mad at someone and I sit down and I think about whether I was fair to them, and if I said the right words, and if I, let's say, said cruel words, unfair words, then I have to think about that also. What triggered it? What made me become the person that I thought I was not? Why did I say the things or did the things that I thought I was not capable of? It helps in navigating life. It helps you understand yourself better. Transparency with the world, I think uh, it's a very complex concept because you can't afford to be transparent with the world all the time. There might not be everyone who understands and respects you. So it leads to a lot of pain for people who are very transparent. And I think people should have filters based on who they are interacting with. where they're interacting, and to be transparent all the time, no. But your real intentions, you should make them known. Real intentions. Real intentions. So today I'm talking to you. I'm making my intentions known. I'm being transparent. That I think this book is going to be about making you see that you need to transform, helping you live life in a better way, life going through various stages, what all you need to do to enjoy life more, to live life more productively, more holistically. So that I'm making myself very crystal clear that this is what I want. I'm making my intentions known. And transformation, we transform every minute of every day.
Very true.
You agree?
Absolutely. Every cell in your body is changing all the time.
Yes. But I'm talking more about the spiritual transformation. How you transform, whether you transform to a higher level or a lower level, depends on how you treat every event, every trigger in your life. Life will hand you good, life will hand you bad, life will hand you ugly. Life will give you pain, life will give you joys. How you use prosperity to transform yourself into a higher version of yourself, or you use to go back to a lower version of yourself.
I have a little masala kind of a question for you. This is going to be the last one.
Okay.
So, as you know, I'm on Instagram, and I have observed that there are a lot of viral reels on Ma Kali. And these reels show that she's descending on earth, cleaning, in the sense she's making a change. And I've noticed that many women tend to like, reshare, especially women, they really like it. So that imagery, I was wondering, why women like it? For a woman to channel that energy, what are they relating to when they are, because when you like, you mean you're relating to that energy, right? So what does it mean? What does it mean to channel that energy of Ma Kali? How is a woman relating to the energy of Ma Kali?
Well, I'm not going to give you a very straight answer to this because you know me. I am always about the non obvious.
Okay.
People liking something on Instagram doesn't actually mean that they align with that energy.
Okay.
People liking something on Instagram because it looks like something that vindicates them, or the sense of injustice they feel, or the anger that they feel, they could probably like it because of that. But are they actually channeling that energy? I'll ask you, how many of these women treat their sons like they have a license to do whatever they want? Are they actually bringing up boys that they would have wanted to get married to? How many of these women are treating their girls like they thought they should have been treated? How many of these women are actually treating their daughters in law like their daughters? It's just liking something or thinking, oh, there's something that needs to change without them changing themselves. How they are bringing up their boys and girls, how they're treating their daughters and daughters in law, how they are looking at other women. So when they see a woman who's more modern or more beautifully dressed, oh, come on, oh, she's too fast. Oh, Aurora, they would call you look so smartly dressed. Many women would judge you. Why? Who gets to decide who is proper, who's improper? And subtly, women themselves do it all the time. They are the perpetrators of the injustice they think they're a victim of. They will stop being a victim when they stop perpetuating this injustice that was given to them. So, just liking an Instagram reel, come on, imbibe that energy, bring the change. She's asking you, she's exhorting you to change. She's not saying, oh, come on, I'm going to destroy everything that's bad. If the bad is within you, start killing it first. The bad is within all of us. It's not something that exists on the outside. We start by killing what's bad in us, by being good ourselves, and then questioning others why they are bad. So if you are not just, do not question injustice. If you are not fair, do not question unfairness. If you are not kind, do not question cruelty. First, you have to start with yourself. Transform yourself. Become a kinder person. Become someone who tries to change the world for the better. And then say, why is everything unfair? Why is it so wrong? No, I don't like it. But start with your own heart, with your own soul. Cleanse it. Cleanse your home. And then Kali is already arrived.
Very beautiful.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, Aurora.
I just loved this exchange, this discussion with you.
Thank you so much, Aurora.
How?
Yeah, it's indeed been a pleasure. And
you are maravillosa. I tell you that, don't I? How?
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.